I say every day. It's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome in to the 193rd episode of Screaming Into the Void, the show where we're late as fuck, and it's all my fault. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and joining me today, flashing his new thumbnail over there on his avatar screen, Caucasian Sasquatch.
Actual footage of me dragging Sam in here to do this.
Right? I really wanted to stay in bed today, but it wasn't good. Anyway, I kept going like, Sasquatch, come back to bed. So we also have back for the first time in a while, hopefully feeling a little bit better, Abe.
Yo.
All right, good to have you. And joining us from Anna's Gameland, Anna.
Hello.
Hola. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We are currently live on.
Watch this image is just like really hitting hard right now.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. He's restreaming this, and that's his thumbnail too for this.
Nice.
You know, I would say that I was surprised, but I'm pretty sure he told me he was going to do this. So,
Well, I said I was going to do something. You could have guessed.
Yeah.
But you know what really surprised me is when
I'm a little perturbed that the Louisville Slugger in every single version of this image, it looks like a penis.
It does kind of look like an penis.
Yeah.
Especially because the rest of the bat's cut off. You can't see.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
gonna make an adjustment.
Samael, one thing that you said that I you know me, I remember things. But you said when Squatch and me were in bed, you said when we both were in bed. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was trying to inject a little gay humor into my just being unable to get up and.
There's no humor to that, sir. Job. That's just gay. I accept that.
I think the key word is inject. Okay, see now you can no, it still looks like a penis, dude.
Yeah, no, it really
looks
does.
like you're jerking off.
It really does.
It looks like you need to see a doctor because, like, with the bloody handprint logo, coming out of the tip like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's your shit, not my shit.
That's way worse. Yeah. How come in shadow?
Speaking of way worse. Howdy, ladies. Howdy, gents. How y'all doing?
So, penis boy.
Soldier boy. Thank you very much.
Penis boy.
That's what he said. Penis boy.
I ain't no Homelander. I don't want to suck dick and eat shit.
No, you just want to smoke copious amounts of weed and bang geriatrics.
Cigars. That's the only deviation. Cigars.
No, that's not what Homelander did. Homelander was all about the milk.
That was Homelander, not Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy was a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
He was the American the Japanese know we can be.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Hello, chat.
Welcome in, everybody. We are live currently on Twix, Rumble, and two separate YouTube channels, Caucasian Sasquatch and Sammy the Infamous. If you're in those places, drop a comment, as I see you've been doing. Also, you'll notice pinned at the bottom on YouTube and at the top on Rumble, there's a Give, Send, Go link for our good friend GHAL. The needle is moving a little bit. Last I checked, it was at $4,310. So it has jumped up a little bit, but I'm still shilling that. We're still trying to reach 6,000. So yeah, share it out, do the things. Appreciate y'all. Meantime, let's say hello to the people in the chat. Scotty Waddles was not only first, but he was first on my side.
See what you're doing there.
Yeah, I'm poaching your audience one dude at a time.
No. That's not called poaching.
Yeah.
It's merely cross-pollination with the benefit to the smaller channel.
Sir, you keep your sexy talk to yourself. I already know about the birds and bees.
Right. We've got,
You know about the catfish swimming down deep in the creek.
we've got old Pliny in the chat. I see Tootie Buck there. Good to see you. We have, as I scroll down, Talk Hard Toasty. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Oh, yeah.
We got Aaron Laura with us.
Hello, Aaron.
Just about blind here. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. I'll get to it. We got Miss Sparkles in the chat. Howdy, Miss Sparkles. We got
Hey.
the Shade Master.
The
Yep.
Shade Master.
Wait,
Welcome in,
that
bud.
Cool fucking handle.
That's carnal. Yeah.
You know, we got Jacob Gallo in the chat. Howdy, Jacob Gallo. We have Ogata Miyuki. Welcome
Hi.
in.
How are you, bud?
Welcome in. I think that's everybody so far. Like I said, let us know you're here. Drop a comment. Do the things. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. Appreciate you being here.
If you don't do anything else, copy the share button. Just go ahead, hit that little low arrow button and hit it, and like do the copy thing, and then go back to what you were doing.
Indeed. But that's
Alternative. Sorry.
Alternative what?
I was going to say, alternatively, if that's too easy, you could always go money me, money now, Sasquatch.
Oh, no, they all know to send me money.
Yeah.
It's Sam and other people that I'm trying to get in on the grift game. I call it griftonomics.
Well, Sam's been griftonomicsing for GHAL, not so much himself anymore.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a straw, and somewhere there's a camel for that motherfucker. When I find it, I'm breaking that son of a bitch's back. He's gonna turn into a griftologist. Thank you, Ogata.
Yeah.
Yuki.
Welcome in.
Sub. I appreciate it, brother.
All right. So as it happens, we do have some topics because I was able to cobble together a few conversation starters, I think, and also a video at the end that should have Dermy Wormy getting his hackles up, because apparently my so I'm just gonna start with a story on that. Corin Nemec. Yes, that Corin Nemec posted this ridiculous little AI video on Twix with this horrendous song accompanying it. And it's an earworm, but it's an awful earworm, right? But it's also kind of hilariously funny. And I tagged Dermy and I said, I don't know why, but for some reason this reminds me of you. And apparently that's causing all kinds of problems. You know, the whole oranges thing with Jeremy Hambley. Now there's a bananas thing with Dermy Wormy. And it's apparently all my fault.
Dog, I've been lost in the woods for so long the last 2 weeks. I don't know what any of those fucking words mean.
Did you just address Sam as dog?
Yes, I did. Anyway, the only words I recognized.
He thinks he's Randy Jackson.
The only words I recognized were Dermy Wormy, and that is enough for me to go, I don't want to know.
Right. So, Anna, here's how this works. Men are dogs. Think about it. They're chasing cat all over the place. They pee on everything, and they don't clean up after themselves.
Sure, but he was using it more in the Randy Jackson sense.
But they sniff each other's butts, too.
Well, only in the privacy of our own homes, and sometimes on street corners.
Or the locker room, occasionally. But that's like a health concern. It's like, does it smell funny to you?
Right. The consistency is just all off, mate.
And Anna, if you do have a problem with it, I do apologize. Blame the cult I've recently joined. They've been reprogrammed.
I don't want to know. The thing that we're going to be talking about, Dermy, is already putting me in a headspace I don't want to be in.
It's not so much about Dermy; it's just that we have the video to share because I think it's fucking funny.
Do we? Which one is it?
It's the last one.
Oh,
The last video of all times.
It might be. It might be. This thing is insidious, hilarious, but insidious.
It's going to trigger the apocalypse.
I'm actually hoping for the asteroid at this point.
I
Flood it again.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you.
Is in my butt. No, don't.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Nope. I already heard enough of that. I don't
I
want
know
it.
this one. I've seen this one.
That's a South Park reference. I
course
don't
you
want
have.
it.
Don't put bananas in my butt. No, don't put bananas in my butt. I've told you several times before. My butt is not a banana door. And I say, don't put bananas in my butt. Don't put bananas in my butt.
Tell me that doesn't
Don't put
remind
bananas
you
in my
of
butt.
Germany.
No.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
It's
Kind of a banger, too.
It's
I'm-
the Mo from Three Stooges bowl cut, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, thoughts of barely consensual sodomy involving fruit make me think of you and Squatch more than Dermy.
We don't use fruit, sir. He has tentacles.
Mhm.
I
And the
think
imperative part of that sentence is semi-consensual.
I think it's an important message to not put bananas in people's butts, especially if they don't want that to happen.
No, don't touch me.
They just
there.
don't know the
This
greatness of the
is-
banana butt
uh,
trend. That's the
right.
only problem.
Oh,
Oh
if
man,
y'all could just get out of my no-no square, that'd be great.
yeah. It is. This.
I'm not in your
fucking
no-no
perfect.
square, sir. That's just
Harry
my
Grip did
banana.
a song years ago called Up Butt Coconut.
Oh my god.
Have you ever heard that?
I think I might have. I think I might have.
Crap.
I don't know. The internet's a weird place. Sometimes you run into things in the most roundabout way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did pickle juice in the hood with pineapple slices. Oh no, no bananas in nobody's butt. No.
Yeah. Vagabond told us all about FartCon.
Well, that's
We
unpleasant.
learned a lot today.
See, old
Well,
Blind
that's been
says,
a great
"Thanks for
show.
this dancing hamster. I now know not to put bananas in people's butts. Now we know. The more you know.
There you
It's
go.
a PSA.
Hold on.
Educational.
You needed a fucking Disney XD looking ass hamster to tell you that putting things in people's rectal cavities non-consensually is not okay.
Yes.
No, I didn't need it, but it was certainly fucking funny.
Semi-consensually,
This is an
sir.
educational show.
Semi-consensually.
This is a reason why you never made it to the E4 Mafia. This
Also-
right here.
It being straight month, I think that was an appropriate thing to show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, we're celebrating heterosexuality and family units this month. So
Yeah, so stop doing that with bananas, you do.
yeah, don't put
Just stop
bananas
it.
in your butt either. As the song says, I told you 1,000 times before, your butt is not
You
a banana.
don't tell a Marine where to put his banana, sir.
You also think I have money to waste on bananas right now, dude. Dress uniforms are expensive. If I was a fucking PFC, I'd have had to take a loan out for that shit. That stuff's expensive.
Can't even afford one of the cheapest dildos in history. Come on.
Well,
Correct.
They do say that anything can be a dildo if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
I have heard this before.
I've heard it too. Usually by somebody
I've
who
witnessed
wanted
a
to
little
bring
bit.
back the
Speaking
pair
of
from
which, the
evil times.
Nerf football was the most impressive thing I've ever seen used.
Hold on. I just remembered a really fucked up one I did. So, does everyone here know what a silver bullet is? So, I was after running around in the woods for a bit. Me and myself and a bunch of other coworkers, I say in quotations, we were in a bus, and one dude was like,
Men.
"Yeah, I almost heat cased. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I managed to get back. I just got a cool tub. They didn't end up silver bulleting me, unfortunately. And I went. I mean, I've got a silver bullet right here. Guy perked up. Oh, really? I pulled out my freaking multi-tool, flipped out the blade, and I'm like, here you go. Let me just get in some water. Dude started freaking the fuck out for some reason. Did not want a silver bullet after that.
You must
It
be
would've
thinking
had
of a different silver bullet than I'm thinking.
A thermometer up the ass. Yeah, no, I'm aware.
What are you running
No, no,
in the
no,
woods
no,
with a
it-
bus with a thermometer up your butt?
It does. In fact, it can go up your ass. But what the silver bullet I'm thinking of is the tiny little vibration pack you put in vibrators and
Gotcha.
copper rings. Usually they're
Yeah, that's
silver
what
in
I was
color.
thinking of.
Yeah, no, and Anna, to answer your question, we were running around the woods. Some people just did not bring enough water, which would cause a core temperature increase, which is really, really bad. And to confirm whether or not they're just being a bitch or they're actually going to fucking start having bodily shutdown, the corpsman would take a thermometer and put it up there because it's the best determinant for identifying core temperature, and it's an amazing deterrent to make sure people drink their fucking water.
Yep.
I've never heard of anything like that in my life.
Let me tell you, you'll start drinking water the first time they threaten you with a damn thing because it looked like a meat thermometer. It ain't even like some normal sized thermometer. They're not like you have a choice between your butthole and your tongue. This thing's designed for penetration.
One of the guys in my previous unit, he freaking he cased in our introductory PT, like the first physical fitness thing we did. With that stuff, he heat cased the first half mile in. Dog gets
real men.
Drink water or sodomy. Yes, that is the warning. That is the threat. You either drink water or the fucking 19-year-old corpsman grabs the thermometer and you discover sodomy.
Yeah, just remember to exhale right before.
Which is worse, sodomy or sounding?
Oh.
No.
Fuck that, dude. I don't even want to have that conversation. I regret responding because now you know I know. Stop it. Get some help, sir. You need help.
It's the answer of sounding.
I'm just saying, $20 is $20. Don't judge me.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I thought we sent you to the military to get less gay, Shadu.
Oh no, that wasn't.
No, homoerotic. If I went to the Navy, I'd be gay. Get it right.
Hey, no.
You may be right, Tootie Bug.
Navy. No.
Hey,
You need Jesus.
Anna,
Go back to church.
Anna, my dad was a naval aviator. His words, yeah, it's the gayest fucking branch. Like, just by far.
I mean, Andy Pickle's got a point here. He says, you've always been interested in Greek military. Welcome to reality over reading about it.
Right? That's the sodomy part of your military training. You didn't know that was like a real thing, did you? Or did you?
Hello, Andy. Oh my god.
Speaking of, don't ask, don't tell. We got this fun little video that hopefully we can get away with showing here.
That's a great segue.
This is about making your firearms compliant in California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the side of this thing, it says, I identify as a squirt gun.
It says a bunch of shit all over this thing. Yeah, it's really funny.
It's
all over him too.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever seen have you guys ever seen a California compliant pistol?
Yeah.
They're so fucking cursed.
Yeah. Well, in regards to this specific video, the only issue that I actually have with this, given that it's straight month and all, is that you should never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, make a real firearm look like a toy.
No, sir. This is all bad mojo. This is bad magic.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have with it. It's a big problem, but it's the only one I have with it. Otherwise, this video is fucking hilarious.
Do you want the sound with this?
Yeah, probably.
To make an assault weapon California compliant, the most important thing is how the gun identifies. In California, the easiest way to meet this threshold is simply to identify as legal. Now, let's talk about a few other things that make this gun California compliant. Number one, this 30-round mag only identifies as 5 rounds. But you can't stop there, because if you are not virtue signaling the inclusivity, that it's considered a hate crime in California, because they can only assume that you just want to use your guns for hate crime. This, they know, is an inclusive gun. Therefore, it's only going to be used for inclusive purposes. Now, if you look closely, you can also see this does not identify as a gun. It identifies as a squirt gun. It also has that little bear insignia on the butt and says just the tip, because why not? We normally start with this just to give people a heads up, but right by the trigger, because it does have a trigger on it, we have a trigger warning. So if you are going to get triggered by that trigger, which that's okay, you will get triggered by triggers. Triggers are triggering. They trigger me. Every time I'm playing with this, I'm always like, bang. It's so loud. It's so scary. That's why there's a trigger warning right there for you. It's going to be triggering. Now, when the safety is on a California compliant gun, what that means is not that the gun is not loaded. It means that you are in a safe space. All you have to do is, boom, you hear that click, you're in a safe space. Now, there's one other requirement in California. You do have to have a trigger lock on at all times, because shooting a gun in California is illegal. However, a way around that is when you load the gun ideally in California would remain unloaded at all times. Never load your guns. It's very dangerous loading guns. You don't want to load a gun in California. That's how burglars get hurt. I know it's the best part.
He broke himself. He got into it,
don't want to load a gun in California. That's how burglars get hurt.
It is weird how that works.
That's good. That's good, man. Like,
it's really hard to hurt a burglar with an unloaded gun.
It identifies as legal is probably fucking genius, in my opinion.
Probably. That is genius. It's obviously an illegal immigrant who has moved to this country and put on our colors in order to try to blend in California.
Yeah. I mean, 10 out of 10.
I hear it's actually Pakistani.
Could be. But the whole how burglars get hurt, like everything else, like I was actually starting to believe for a minute that this guy, the first time I watched this, that this guy was like seriously hardcore lefty until he said that exact thing.
Well, he was cracking up.
Welcome in, Fletch. Good to see you, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's top tier shit postery. It's fucking, it really is.
Well, you see, it's identifying as a Russian immigrant. Can't you tell? You and I both know that's not really Russian.
Oh, man.
I know it seems like overkill. It seems like the most inclusive gun you've ever seen, but that is what it takes to meet the threshold of California legal. So let me know what you think in the comments. This was literally billions of dollars in R&D that we had to pour into this bad boy right here. If you live in California and you want to support local law enforcement, you want to give them their gun back so they don't have to walk around with a little silly wooden gun anymore, you can sponsor one of their inclusion jobs here. And all you have to do is just go to your Sarah Coat shop and you tell them you want inclusive pink, inclusive green, inclusive yellow, inclusive orange, and inclusive white. That's the most important.
Yeah,
the most egregious part of this, that orange tip is the most egregious part of that whole thing. The rest of that, I don't have a whole lot of issue with. I wouldn't do it. But that orange tip right there, that is bad magic. That's bad mojo, bro.
Yeah, and that's why I said what I did. Yeah, he did say that. But yeah, no, that's the orange tip is the whole reason I said the thing about making it look like a toy, because the whole reason that toy guns have orange tips is because once upon a time, toy guns in this country looked like real guns, and some people did get hurt.
Hey, why are we having a conversation yet again? We had this for 3 hours, only hours ago, about guns in America.
This is not a conversation starter. This is just a joke about how gay California is.
Yes.
I mean,
and how correct guns are.
The kid's right.
This is not meant to sort of. this is not meant to start like a serious discussion about gun control or about like the right to. This is purely looks at California's general direction. Why you always side 'em? Like, come on, man. That's just a homosexual looks at California and says, "Bitch, please."
Do that again, but play up the lisp a little harder.
Please sing that again.
That was me playing up the lisp.
A little more. You need to give it some oomph.
No, that was the furthest I can go, Doug.
No, sir.
You got
The
it.
problem
What you do
is,
into it.
hold on, Sam. It's too
Think
much.
Dave Rubin.
He needs to put a little swish in it.
Yeah, I can do like yes, bitch. I can do that pretty well, but like anything else, I can't get the fucking lispy queer right.
You gotta.
We need
It's
more
not just a
sass.
lisp. You gotta throw in a little bit of vocal fry and think real hard about Dave Rubin buying babies.
Yes.
Yeah,
See?
no. Anna can do it. Have Anna do it. Have Anna pretend to be a gay man.
And it's not.
Yes,
And it can't
bitch.
be a gay dude.
It's 2026, Sam. She can be whatever the fuck she wants to be.
Exactly. I can be a Kalashnikov.
Right? California
Sold to old Blondie.
Okay, speaking of Kalashnikovs and cursed guns, have any of you seen that video circulating of someone who took a AR bolt carrier?
Pronouncing it correctly. It's not Kalashnikov. It's Kalashnikov.
Kalashnikov. There, fun. Has anyone seen the video of someone who took a poor innocent Kalashnikov?
It's not as bad
ripped-
being grammar Nazi'd by actual Nazis.
ripping out its like original bolt carrier group and then slapping in an AR's bolt carrier group, including the AR bolt.
Yeah.
That shit is evil. That shit does not look okay.
It's not supposed to look okay. It's supposed to look evil. It's not the worst gun I've ever seen, but it's very nearly the worst.
Oh, have you seen someone 1022 to P90?
Oh no, sir. I have seen a high point rifle, like an actual dude made the high point pistol into like an AR frame. It's a high point. Why? There's more. The fucking stock on that goddamn gun costs more than that high point. What the fuck are you doing?
He's diddling himself. That's what it is. So, but yeah, no, like, and you know, Anna made a point about not wanting to do a gun car. I mean, this wasn't really like, I think Shadu was right. This is really more about like, you know, California's stupid. Its rules are stupid, and we're gonna laugh at California's stupid rules with this guy.
Yeah.
So, also, I think that was a highly appropriate way to start out the month here on SITV. Yes, I'm aware it's the 6th day. Whatever, it's fine. Hey, Arden, welcome in.
Late. Always
Not-
late.
Well, the last time we did one of these shows, it was still fucking May.
Klaatu Barada Nicotine. Excellent, sir.
Right? Anyway. What did we have up next? I don't recall. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's a place in South America that the Inca discovered that was there before they built their little empire called what was it, Punku?
Punku. Yes.
Yeah. It is very much like the way that certain things get described in Howard and Lovecraft stories.
Yes.
In terms of like giant blocks with perfect cuts.
Yeah. But there's kind of an issue here. Here's the problem. We've done LiDAR scans of this place, and this is apparently some part of a city that's been disassembled to an extent, and the blocks have been just strewn across 8 miles of freaking playa out there. And the problem is that when we scan the blocks and try to reassemble it, it doesn't really reassemble into anything. In particular, we don't really know what these blocks are. AI doesn't know what they are. A lot of people try to come up with ideas like, oh, they're for hinges on massive doors and blah, blah, blah. No. Why would you need 297 identical hinge blocks for a door that's, 12 foot tall tops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some very strange stuff, and I'm glad you're here and you know more about this than I do, because this just came across my feed and I thought it was interesting. I was planning on looking into it more before I brought it up, but we decided to say fuck it. And yeah, Lepo, it might actually, the video I think does have AI nonsense going on in it.
It's Graham Hancock territory.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's stay away from the Graham Hancock territory entirely, okay? We're going to bounce completely off of that to start with. This is an actual location with actual megalithic stones that were apparently put together into some formation that people occupied to some extent, and then later, for some reason, taken apart and partly moved to another location. And here's the part that really flips the script. We're missing a couple of hundred stones. Like, they're just gone. They're not on the plane. They're not in between point A and point B. They're not at point A and they're not at point B. Yeah. They're just not there. Now, sure, some of them were probably dynamited back in the turn of the century with people looking for gold and stupid stuff like that. I'm sure. I doubt they did a couple of hundred of them. There's no point. You can look around and see the blasted bits and pieces of 5 or 10.
What's your point? Where did the blocks go?
We don't know. That's
no clue. That is the point. We don't know.
Sam, Squatch, please stop reminding me the fact that Latin America, Mesoamerica, and North America, when the Europeans came over, was going through its own little post-apocalypse. I just love that fact so much.
Technically, it was a post-apocalypse because the apocalypse had already taken place before we showed up. And then we showed up with all diseases.
Exactly. Like I said, Shadow. Yeah, this place was discovered by the Incas when they were up and coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, because the Inca were, I mean, they weren't as recent as the Aztecs, but they were still, in the grand scheme of like Native American populations, pretty recent development. Also, it's one of the few examples of a semi-Marxist society actually functioning, which is kind of weird. But like, again, if you look at like the Great Lakes region, you
he's not wrong.
Yeah, that's a pretty odd claim.
The
Inca actually had a very
economic unit. There is a actual structure assemblage called an Incan economic unit, and whenever they wanted to increase or decrease a particular value of an area, they would literally go somewhere where there's a bunch of people waiting around to have farms, go build them a farm and hand it to them and be like, here, make more money over here, we need more money there. It was semi-Marxist. It was largely run by priesthood type shit, but the effect was very communistic.
Yeah, or I wouldn't say communistic, more command and control economy. Hence, I was mostly making a joke. But to be specific, they were a command and control economy that survived for a couple centuries at minimum, which is unheard of. There's no other population that's managed to go as long as the Inca did with a purely command and control economy. Even the fucking Egyptians weren't purely command and control, and they were pretty damn close.
Well, the Aztecs in the first like 80 years were completely command control. I mean, the priesthood and the emperor king type guy, they came up with the general plans and it was just executed. There was very little that we know of in the way of discussion on all that. But then again, it would be kind of like going to China and changing how they do their rice agriculture. Why would you bother?
Yeah, exactly.
They perfected it. There's no point in jerking that around too much. So when the Aztecs would do something similar to what the Inca did, the mechanism was different. The effect was virtually the same. In the case of the Aztecs, it was a multi-family unit. In the case of the Inca, it was a multi-generation family unit. The Incan economic structure was more like an extended family farm, right? Where the more successful you are, the more land you're granted to work. Seems a little backwards, but it makes sense for farmers.
Yeah. And kind of like tied to that, going back to the post-apocalypse thing, there was like metallurgy and shit found up in the Great Lakes that predated Europe. That didn't just predate European arrival, but it was fucking it was ancient by the time those populations started building their mounds and shit. So like, kind of like we have our own age undreamed that predates the age of antiquity and the Bronze Age. the fucking Native Americans had their own period where they could have been dicking around with metal and mounted animals, and that just kind of stopped being a thing.
Not mounted animals.
Fuck you, let me dream.
Not mounted animals. Dude,
Fuck you.
try to go climb on a fucking llama and let me know how it goes.
I wasn't talking about llamas. I was talking about North America.
Try it with a buffalo. Try it with a buffalo, an oryx. Try it with any white-tailed deer.
The Mongols fought dudes that rode reindeers. Okay, I'm pretty sure some Native Americans could have figured out how to ride a fucking moose.
I don't know, man.
I don't think any of them were
terrifying.
crazy enough to try. That's a fucking insane.
Well, the one that didn't live.
Yeah.
There was this one dude.
So,
Arden talks about Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah, I was just getting to that.
Similar, yeah, pretty similar to what Squatch and what you're bringing up, because those things were carved like with such precision, and we still go there and see it, and it's like, we don't have the technology even today to do that. How did they do that?
What's even weirder, Anna, and this is something that just recently came to my attention. So the entryway to the alleged Stargate at Lake Titicaca in South America is the same shape as those fucking weird ass T-pillars all over Göbekli Tepe.
That's the weird,
which is on the other side of the fucking planet from them.
Which is why I say this isn't our first rodeo, and there was once a trans-global seafaring population that lived especially light on the land. They, for whatever reason, did not cotton to making colonies and stuff. They just did not colonize and occupy the land unless it was, and I don't get it, but okay.
Told you it was great, Hancock territory.
Sure. Well, no, I'm not in Grand Hancock territory quite, but I firmly believe that most of the things that went into creating Sumer actually developed several thousand, perhaps several 100,000 years before, but weren't put together into an established matrix that would last. You know, there were bone cities found in Tibet back during the turn of the century, but the bones were valuable as ivory, so most of the bones got gathered up. What we don't know is, was this a collection of bones set up in a street format for an actual occupation, or was it, more ceremonial and a bunch of collected mastodon bones? Were these mastodon hunted, or were they just found out there on the tundra? We don't know. We do know that two of the last available skulls were 40,000 years apart. And they were walrus heads. Now, that doesn't answer the question, but it does answer that at least as recent as 1785, people were taking walrus heads to that location. And as long ago as 40,000 years ago, people were taking walrus heads over there. Why? No fucking clue.
Yeah.
My only response would be humanity, fuck yeah.
Sure.
Even the Inca didn't know who built this. When they arrived, the site was already ancient. Massive stone blocks lay scattered across the mountains. Some weighed more than 100 tons, and many were cut with astonishing precision. The real mystery wasn't the stones. It was the builders. They were already gone. So who built Puma Punku? Before the Inca? Even the Inca didn't know who built.
Right. So here's the really weird part about Puma Punku. And this is the part that nobody can really come to terms with. The Inca didn't build it. They say outright, no, it was here when we got here. They did take part of it apart. Nobody really knows why. They didn't make the entire line of blocks. Somebody else did that before they got there. They basically took that on as like a challenge from the ancients. Was like, hell, we can move a block, right? And so they moved a couple. But that's about it. They're still laying right next to where they took them out of the socket.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only so far you can get. You have to have a lot of llamas and like alpacas and shit to make that happen.
Right. Alpacas might not be your best choice, bro. They're a little narrow need. You imagine, I just want to say, you imagine what the damn natives would have got up to if they'd have had a horse. That'd have been dangerous as hell, bro.
Fuck. Do I need to imagine what the natives would have done if they had a horse? Dude, I just look at what the fucking rest of humanity did with horses, and I go, yeah, that's what they would do. Humanity is fucking batshit crazy.
Probably my favorite scene in a movie ever and all of all time, and there's a lot of really good ones out there, is in Hidalgo when the Arab looks at him and says, "You cannot defeat me. I'm from the tribe of the horse." And he smiles as a Lakota and says, "So am I." And then just checks out on his little Mustang.
Yeah, Lipo, like I said, there's some AI in the thing. Like the whole video might be AI. The information isn't false.
Unless, of course, Sam is an AI.
It's also possible, but like I've said before, in that very instance, if I am in fact an advanced AI, you guys need to be a lot more fucking worried about how far along we are down that road than you are.
I don't. I really don't need to be worried about that shit.
Because I will push the button.
Push it twice. Make sure you put one in the air for me, bro. Yeah, no. The weird thing. All right, the really weird thing. And I meant to say this a while ago. The Inca didn't build on it. You look around all over South America, and whatever current or most recent civilization is built directly on top of whatever previous civilization was there. This is true for the Toltecs, the Aztecs, you pretty much name it. I mean, there are literally Catholic churches carved out of Aztec temples, right? It's common. But in the case of Pumapuku, they did not do that. A handful of people appeared to occupy the general structures, but not actually live in them. No one built of them. It's possible a handful of the stones were dragged away and used to carve some of these big ass churches.
It was cursed.
You see, they didn't like it. They didn't stay there. It wasn't like they moved in and was like, "Oh, look, the ancients built us a house." No,
I'm just saying, maybe it was cursed, and maybe they found out the hard way real fucking fast and learned their lesson. You know, it's possible. I'm not saying it was, but it is possible. I also would point you to Teotihuacan. The Aztecs built that shit either than Maya did. But they showed up, they saw it, right? They took ownership of it, but they only changed a handful of things aesthetically. They didn't really fuck with it like they did everything else.
Right. Yeah, no, they really didn't. They put a handful of little rocks on top and made the dirt a little bit deeper. That's about it.
Yeah.
Some of the buildings were superimposed and others were never touched.
Right.
Which is interesting to think that there's a city down there where, 40,000 people were living, and yet the building over there was here before that city was established, and no one ever used it. They never went into it. They didn't dig it up. They didn't go knock the dust off of shit. They never fucked with it.
I'm of a mind that even ancient peoples knew when not to poke the bear.
Yeah. And then they knew plenty of times when to poke the bear and just make a new city where other people built the city so they didn't actually have to do any work. Like the English did with London, or like the Russians did with Moscow.
Some of that effect. But yeah, like look, there are old places in the world, and some of them have I don't want to use the word holiness because it implies goodness, but a sort of otherworldliness that just prevents people from doing things with it.
I agree with what Squatch is saying when it comes to like all of these different cultures have all of these massive structures and civilizations that have developed from Egypt to Tibet to like ancient, Norse to so many different places, and it's like you think people were like talking to each other like we are on the internet, but they didn't have that ability. So how did they all have these structures, but they never it's like they're there, but we're never actually going to evolve as a civilization until like later with religion and everything that came into and things started changing.
It was a different tech tree.
Well, I was going to say, or maybe they had the same tech tree and they just got fucking nuked to hell. Because, I mean, if you look back, a lot of the shit that we have of the Bronze Age is like a couple of shipwrecks and one or two untouched raised cities in the Middle East. Or the shipwrecks in the Mediterranean, the raised cities in the Middle East. And in some of the few written records from that period we've managed to find and decipher, talk about how, the Egypt was way older when fucking Rome, like when Egypt, when the Bronze Age collapsed, was old, and it was old when fucking Rome and Greece and shit was doing crazy stuff. So
Dude,
at some point, and the Egyptians talked about other people that were older than them. So it's entirely possible that there were people.
There, we know that somebody was there before the Egyptians because the Sphinx is at least 5,000 years older than the oldest pyramid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
it's also got a
Something
completely
else.
different pattern of fucking erosion on it that is more water consistent with water than it is with sand and wind.
Yeah,
apparently the original head was a lion as well.
Yeah.
So
And to Sam's point about water,
something
north,
to keep in mind
sorry.
when it comes to the amount of time involved in Egypt. When the pyramids were being built, mastodons were still on the earth, and half of Egypt's history was already over.
What's interesting to me about that in
Yeah.
particular is because like Anna was saying about different things cropping up in different parts of the world that are remarkably similar with peoples who had no way of communicating with each other. Pyramids and ziggurats and that sort of thing. We think of the Middle East, but you get that shit in Cambodia. You get that shit in Central and South America too. You know?
There's a light smattering
Thailand.
of them in Polynesia as well.
Yeah.
They're a little island version. You know, they're kind of
Yeah, and
lightweight. They're not.
It's entirely possible that it's just a very useful structure. You know?
Yeah, almost certainly, but
it's
so interesting.
It's also possible. I mean, think about how much knowledge we only have stored in the internet. How much of our civilization is built around keeping the internet functional. What happens if, say, if a solar flare hits that completely fucks up our ability to utilize the internet? Pretty much our entire civilization is shot. You have millions, possibly billions of
The
people.
entire world.
Yeah, millions or billions of people would just immediately die because they just stop being useful. There's no more food production. There's no more economic engagement. They all just die off. There's no one to maintain the buildings. There's no one to maintain the places of learning. Everything just kind of collapses. People fall back to subsistence farming, say for a few warlords. Over time, nature reclaims as much as it can. We start tearing down the buildings to build up new buildings. And then pretty soon, you kick in erosion, give about 2,000-3,000 years to get back to the Iron Age. And what came before is completely gone. It's entirely possible you had our level of technology at some point. Might not have even been humans. Might have been fucking lizard people, for all we know. And then enough time just passed that we forgot.
Hypothesis.
That's what I've been saying. Is it? You know, I don't think people were the first people on Earth.
No, hold on. Who the fuck said they were people?
Oh my God, this is like Prometheus.
It's almost like you couldn't hear the quotes in my statement there. The air
Who
quotes.
the fuck said they were deserving of rats? They're human rats.
Here's the thing, kid, is you come from, you know, Johnny come lately, right? Who's got this whole idea that he's somehow special and in the image of God. What if you're wrong? What if it was someone else? Someone who came before? Someone who wasn't anything like you?
Well, that would mean that I'm capable of failure, and as we all know, I'm better, so I can't be possibly failing.
Oh, fucking dick.
Stronger, smarter, better. I am better.
You're certainly certainly
talk.
far more conceited. That's true.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like something that one of my brothers used to say years ago. I'm not conceited because conceit's a fault, and I don't have any.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Nice. I like that.
He was, of course, massively conceited. But
of course.
It is what
It's
it is.
almost like saying, I am the most humble man on earth.
The way we always handled it was of the little ditty I like to call, "It's so hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way."
So Arden is saying here, I like how none of you people, and thanks for that, are acknowledging the fact that ginger genetics are in fact more ancient than any other human genes. Who do you think we came from? I think you were a trial run.
Sir, I'll have you know I am
And
a
a failed one.
daywalker. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you were the mistake. You're the lore to our data.
Maybe.
Anywho.
Wait, Sam's a fucking ginger too?
No, I'm not. Gingers have the older DNA. There we go. Gingers
Wait a minute.
are the lore. We are the data. We became better.
Sam,
We're better.
Sam, does magic stop working around you? Are you a blank? Do you just not have a soul?
I mean, I have a lot of souls.
But
I got a few.
yes, I understand. Yes, I understand. You can jar them and pickle them and keep them on your shelf. I mean, are
gotta
you
do it with
possessed
cotton
of a
balls, though,
soul
or
that
the
is
screaming will
yours?
keep you up all night.
He stores them in his tentacles.
No, I have.
You got me mixed up. I'm not the elf on the shelf. I'm a dilf on the milf.
Yeah.
I wanted to
You're
go back
welcome.
to Mastodon though, Squatch. Like what you were saying. Do you still think that mastodons exist in the deep sea?
I don't.
Anyway,
I don't.
Wait.
They are-
Hold on. Did you just say mastodons in the deep sea?
Yes.
Mastodons
So
are
that's not-
giant elephants. Megalodons are the sharks.
Yeah.
Actually, they're saying now that there were sharks even bigger than megalodon, but
Sure.
that.
But that
What?
doesn't change a furry elephant into a shark.
Did
No, not at all.
that megalodon begin with an N?
I don't believe that it does.
Hold on. Anna's not escaping this. Anna, did you have the image of a giant fish in the depths of the ocean, or were you trying to communicate a giant elephant?
I'm sorry. I was looking at Squatch's thing, and I was thinking of Sasquatches and mammoths and mastodons and
At the bottom of the ocean.
But no, yeah.
Under the sea.
To be fair, if a mastodon was at the bottom of the ocean, it'd probably stay there.
Yeah, that is true. It's probably still there, as a matter of fact.
On account of not being graceful swimmers in the deep blue.
And I do apologize for hyperfixating on that, but it was absolutely fucking diabolical.
I thought about it, but I was going to let it go because I wasn't sure exactly what type of autism I had stumbled across.
Well, see, Squatch, you're possessed of a mental deficiency called simping, whereas I lack that because I hate people.
Have you met this man?
Huh. Hey, Anna, did you know I was simping for you? Have you noticed that?
Yes,
Okay,
especially.
I'm gonna go back to my question. Megalodons. I'm gonna go back to not mammoths, mastodons, but megalodons. Think they exist?
This is a very broad question. I'm going to say no.
I think they did.
They did. They
But
don't.
I don't think they do anymore. I think
The ocean's water temperature has gotten a little bit too cold for them.
I don't believe that.
No, I don't think so either.
I believe that a combination of biological and ecological factors took place that wiped out their food group, resulting in our modern versions of animals. You know how much energy it takes to feed a 50-foot-long shark?
Three McChickens and a fucking milkshake.
Well, that's why I think that it's that they did once, but they no longer do, is because the animals of the size that it would take to feed one of those were once more common, but are no longer. The food supply is gone.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't believe in Sasquatch.
Hi.
Not you personally, but the amount of meat and energy that would take. You see animals every single day, like bears in Alaska, going into towns because they're not getting the food supply from the woods and the forest. First to do is running around with silver bullets and thermometers into actual like towns to go to the bins, to the trash.
There could have been Sasquatch up until 1920s.
The woods. What is he? He sees somebody like Shadoo. He's gonna eat him. He's gonna be
No, he wouldn't.
Clearly, he's gay.
I think that depends on what their actual,
bones.
if they existed, what their actual diet was. It's entirely possible that they were more like gorillas, which are also massive animals, but have an almost entirely vegetarian diet.
Y'all are also
and in North America, up until the 1920s, there was a tree that reproduced hundreds of pounds of nuts a year called the American chestnut tree. And they were so proliferous that 1 in 4 hardwoods on the eastern seacoast was American chestnuts. Millions of them.
Y'all are also assuming that they just didn't get gathered up and are being kept as a private army of a secret shadow government type.
I still can't wait for that movie to come out. It still hasn't happened yet. They were crowdfunding this movie a while back, where it was basically a Yeti with a machete, I think it was called, and it was about a Sasquatch helping some Native Americans butcher some Nazis for some reason in Canada.
I mean, that's where.
Hold on, that checks out. That checks out.
I mean, the Nazis were in Canada for some reason. That's where I meant to go with that.
No, that checks out. Sam, that checks out. Remember, the Canadians like praising Nazis that fought Russians in World War II.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to go down the fucking political route with Yaroslav Hunka, I guess this was a fictional movie made by people who wanted to make a fun movie. It's got nothing to do with that shit.
Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of Nazis were hanging out in Canada because Canada would protect them.
I'm sure a bunch are. You know, I think probably more of them preferred the warmer climes of Argentina, but sure.
The warmer climes of Argentina.
Florida. We had a bunch at Cape Canaveral.
Sam, those weren't Nazis. Those were American patriots. More American than apple pie.
Difference is they were paid, they were paid by the government, so it's fine.
Well, they were given a choice. So like, you can either get paid and live in relative luxury for the rest of your life, doing exactly what you're already doing, but for us, or we can send you to Hague and they'll kill you.
Or option number 3, we give you to the Russians,
and they're gonna kill you.
It was one of those choices that's not really a choice.
Actually, no. I apologize. They wouldn't threaten them with the Russians because the Russians would also give them good conditions and food. No, they'd threaten to give them to the Jews. No, not the Poles either. No, not the Poles. The fucking Israelis.
Andy.
But pretty much the Hague was all right. We don't need to have this conversation. This is verboten, as it were. Come on now.
Fucking Nazis every episode.
You know what? It only happens when the kid's on.
Yes.
It only happens when the kid's on.
The shows are only good when I'm on. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
That's not what I said at all.
It is absolutely what you said. You were just speaking in jive.
You have a 0-track mind, and that one track is occupied by some goose-stepping hillbillies from the Reichstag.
Sure I am. What's your point?
Okay, I was just making sure we all understand what we're dealing with.
Okay, moving on, I guess. What's the next thing, Sasquatch?
What did I do? I'm dying.
I don't know, man. Was this it? Yeah. Okay. So this month, it's particularly in North America, but I assume that you could probably see, some of this elsewhere in the world. We're going to see a pretty stellar alignment of planetary bodies coming up here in a couple
I see what you did there.
Right?
Lol.
Here in a couple of days. It's already kind of begun because Venus and Jupiter have been hanging out in the eastern sky in the evenings for the last
I'm sure I've seen this before, and it's been community noted.
Right. I'm watching it happen in the sky night by night. It's getting closer. We're not going to be able to see some of this stuff like the Uranus and Neptune. You can't see that shit with the naked eye. It's too far out.
Well, I've not seen Uranus either, but I'm,
I haven't. It's nothing to really write
it.
home about, bro. Like, you're going to need a flashlight for that one.
You'll be fine. Well, that's because, it's I don't shave.
It's true.
I like the way you took that left turn right there at the end. I heard it.
It's absolutely true. Man looks like fucking Albus Dumbledore.
Let's not let the youngest member of the panel talk about how much he's seen my butthole.
If I was talking about your butthole, I'd say it looks like fucking Gandalf, not Albus Dumbledore.
Okay,
that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Is right against the way that you stole his beard.
I heard about this alignment of planets. It's like every single 2-3 years.
Yeah, it happens every 3 years.
Planets.
I'm not saying that it's not a relatively common phenomenon, and I'm just saying that it's a neat one, and it's coming up. For those who are interested, I like watching this stuff. I like seeing this stuff.
Because you're
Listen,
also,
Anna.
because you're seeing
They're
it
not
with
getting it.
telescope and with your sorry to use the term, but naked eye.
They don't get the significance, bro.
You
Anna,
can
listen.
it and it like gives you was, but this happens all the time.
Sure.
Anna, hold on. Anna. Squatch and Sam are both old. This is like the weather. Old people like the weather. Therefore, they're gonna like this shit. Just put up with it, okay? Just smile and nod. Wait until they go back to the home.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and boot the kid.
This is classic headology, kid. You don't get it until you get it. You'll get it one day, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I was too mean to those old men."
Yeah, no. If you get like Mars in there and a couple of other things, you know, then the stars would align and Cthulhu would rise, and we'd all, you know, die horribly. But
also,
quickly.
this has a bit of occult power associated with it as well. And so,
It does.
And on the pagan calendar, this is a fairly significant event.
Yep.
It is. It is. From a purely aesthetic point of view, though,
yeah,
it's very cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
You know, I think it's going to be on here in about 3 days. I think it's the 8th of the 9th.
July 17th.
No, not this. This will be July 17th, but on the 8th of the 9th, I think that in North America, you'll be able to see Venus and Jupiter will be so close together they'll appear as one bright body.
Wow.
So keep an eye out for that because that doesn't happen all the time.
Sometimes me and Sam get together and we're both one dark body.
That's only because you won't let me turn the lights on, bitch.
Lasagna.
Don't worry, they wear glow in the dark Johnnies. It's fine.
I do like blinky lights. I do. I like space porn. I like watching the skies. It's, you know, and out here we don't have a lot in the way of, you know, overwhelming light pollution, as they call it, you know, where you get like so much artificial light in an area that you can't see the sky. We could see the sky. We could see a lot of the sky out here.
I haven't seen a star in years.
That's because you live where it's always cloudy and gloomy.
No, it's because he hasn't left his apartment in that long.
Also,
That
there's
too.
a roof between you and the clouds and the gloom. You know, but I do enjoy this stuff, and I like sharing it with people, and I hope some of you out there get to experience this if you haven't before, and even if you have, like Anna says, this is a relatively common occurrence. Relatively, it will happen again, but that doesn't make it less cool in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say about that. Go check it out. Go watch the skies. You never know. You never know if you're going to see something neat that you never saw before. Hey, we have nights where if I go just outside of town, I can see pretty much the whole arc of the Milky Way, bright as you can imagine. You know, it just lights up the sky. We get very big, very clear skies out here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So one thing I want to go back to is what we were talking about with all these civilizations. They somehow, again, how did they know how to align everything so symmetrically when it came to the alignment of the planets or the stars? How?
Protractors. That's my guess.
Fish bones.
Mastodons. Megalodons.
I don't think the mastodons were doing long division, madam. Clearly, it was the heffalumps or possibly the woozles.
It was the Dragon Zord.
I don't have a good answer for that. They obviously had access to tools and mathematics that we have often dismissed them as being, you know, involved in.
Could anybody on the panel with all of us actually calculate something and build a structure according to how the stars are aligned?
On paper? Can I have like a compass and like a few tools?
No, you need to come
How
up
many
with
minutes
yourself.
do we have to achieve this?
Yeah, no, I'm going to need a time limit of at least a couple of days.
I don't think the ancients did it instantly either.
No, they didn't. In fact, if you were to look at how our nearest relatives process information, they are better at memorizing things for permanent rather than calculating things individually, right? So rather than learning, hypothetically, if a chimpanzee were to develop some level of culture, they would memorize the things because their short-term memory isn't great, but their long-term memory is phenomenal. It's unbelievable. They can memorize like 37 digit codes and all kinds of, and just throw them out at the drop of a hat, like tenths of a second and stuff. We can't do that. Very few humans on Earth can do that. On the other hand, what we can do is hand somebody who doesn't know what problem they're going to be solving, and allow them to process through solving the problem, which is something that apes simply cannot do.
Yeah.
But as far as how everybody ended up deciding the same things are important, and I'm not necessarily saying high technology, I am saying a culture. And that culture was the foundational document of all cultures that followed. So we're talking about a culture that would have had some level of mathematics, a certain type of pantheon in the sky that they abided by, that was inherited by all cultures from the original source, right?
Without a telescope, without understanding.
Well, that's the thing, is how do you know that they didn't have those things?
Yeah.
Regardless, there are people, there are individuals on Earth
and we see
that have exceptional vision.
Never found a telescope from back then.
Yeah, we also never found the capital of the Hittite Empire, yet we have piles and piles and piles of records talking about the Hittite Empire and all of the stuff they were doing in the Bronze Age. Like, just because we don't have conclusive evidence of something existing doesn't mean there's not connective evidence that lets us understand that this stuff's real. Like the freaking Hindus' traditions have stories and have legends of things that tie into atomic weapons or black holes, and not just in they had a story of a sky god blowing up a city. No, as in like understanding how thermodynamics and how nuclear fission works.
Glass and all that. Going back to Graham Hancock, Abe.
Yeah,
not really.
So,
well, that's actually in the Sanskrit tradition.
That's what I'm fixing to say. Like you call it Graham Hancock, but he gets it directly from the Sanskrit tradition.
Yeah, of course.
So, like saying, "Oh, well, what he just read it. He also read it. I have also read it." That doesn't mean we agree on how it came to be there. My point about all of that is math has always been math, and genius has always been genius. And there's no accounting for what a genius can accomplish with willing hands at his service.
And which is why I said protractors at the beginning. It was only half a joke. I actually do, they probably did have some kind of similar technology back then, because like Sasquatch says, is math is math is math. It's true whether we look at it one way or another. And so I think they probably did have some tools. Now, as far as like us not finding those tools, there could be a million reasons for that. My personal instinct is to think that maybe they weren't made out of durable materials.
Right.
Because you could take two thin pieces of fucking crystal and slap them on either ends of a rolled up tube of bark, and you've got a telescope. A crude one, but you have a telescope, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stand the test of time, right?
Something else that a lot of people don't realize is the tools utilized for stonemasonry and building walls are virtually identical to the tools used by seafarers to sail distances. Mm-hmm. Now, their uses are different. You're sighting something local as opposed to the stars and the sun. But the purpose is the same, to maintain a straight level course.
Yeah, I think the sextant was probably one of the most important inventions ever.
Yeah.
And it could be recreated by a specific type of fishbowl.
Mm-hmm. In the same way that you can make an accurate compass with pine needles and a bowl of water.
Right. You could also use 2 pieces of wood to build a transit. Any 2-piece straight as you can find. They don't even necessarily have to be straight. The third line will be.
Yeah, but the level of genius that you're talking about is completely different. This is survival.
I
This is
disagree.
what seafaring people needed to do. This is a kid can come up with.
Oh, that
this.
was learning, madam. That's
No,
culture. That's a
no,
little
that's
different. The
learning
one who
culture.
figured it
No,
out was
No, I'm
genius.
sorry. I disagree with you. The genius in this is how can you build that we don't even build today? We can build skyscrapers and all this because we have the tools. How did people build the pyramids or these structures that you think that we can't even build that today?
We can.
Not. I think I kind of go in his point here. There are certain things, certain technologies that we have not been able to replicate. Right now, we can build something similar. We can certainly imitate what we see, right? But there's a specific kind of, for lack of a better word, a sort of kind of asphalt that is used in certain ancient roads in certain parts of the world that is more durable than anything we use today, and we have no idea how to replicate it.
I mean, and I'd say part of that is it's not necessarily a lack of the ability to learn, but rather a lack of incentive to learn. Where if you can figure out the way to make a road that'll just never break tight, until now you realize.
I get what you're saying, kid,
to
but no,
replace the
it's
road.
not that people haven't tried to figure out how this is done. They have. Right.
Keep
It
in
isn't
mind
just
the Roman concrete.
we got to keep people in business. We got to keep those construction workers out there every fucking summer, making money. It's not quite as simple as that because we've known about these fucking roads for hundreds of fucking years. People have tried.
Yeah, and it could be the case where there was a element of, hey, we found something like this, but it just never took traction. Look at the fucking ancient Greeks. They figured out steam power. They figured out computing technology. They had very primitive computers that they never used because they're socioeconomic factors. They just looked at those things and went, that's kind of cool. Doesn't really work for the way we got things going, so you can make toys. You might see a similar thing going on here where we have the point to begin getting to those tools, but because the cultural consensus and view of those things are, that's kind of cool, but we have this way, why would we ever change it? Kind of the same thing with nuclear power, where we could switch to nuclear power anytime we wanted to, but we're like, what we got's going is kind of good, we don't need to.
I don't agree with you. No. I don't think that's at all what happened with civilizations. If you look at Leonardo da Vinci and some of the things that he was coming up with, way beyond his time. Where did he get that from?
Math,
studying, actually putting the effort in. That was a genius mind.
He also made several completely unconnected and illogical leaps that ended up working out as well. So I think inspiration plays a larger part in his genius than just math.
Well, yeah, but he I get what you're saying. I want to pivot to a different technological era. The self-sealing Roman concrete. This was something that we had a bajillion samples of for 2,000 years, and yet nobody could figure out why it was that Roman concrete would stand up to the elements better than modern concrete. Nobody could get it. They broke it down. They knew every part, every bit. They knew the amounts. They could mix it. They could pour it. It worked like Roman concrete. No one really understood why, until some clever genius realized that it's not physical. It's a chemical process that has a physical change. Roman concrete included a certain amount of ash and free lime and marble or some other source of lime included in its initial construction that was not slaked. And so once it's built and poured and put in place, if a crack ever develops and that crack fills with water, the unslaked lime in the concrete literally liquefied and filled in the gap slowly over time. Magnificent. Took a genius to figure it out, to look at it and go, oh, that's what's happening. It took a genius to figure it out the first time, but that genius could also have been applied, as in it was done that way once and someone noticed it, called over somebody else, like, hey, check this out. You remember that earthquake that broke that? Let's seal it back up. Why? That's the one we used all the freaking marble in. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Hey, let's mix up some more of that stuff for the temple.
Right. And I don't know. I kind of like Anna. What is your question? I guess is like how we think that it was done, because the fact is it was done. We know it was done. We don't know how.
Like initial thing that I always go to is that people still today, archaeologists and all these professors and everybody has a different opinion on how things were done. Nobody actually knows, like, we have the factual evidence, but people are always going back and like arguing, debating how things were done, and we still don't know. I mean, never will. Like, only, what was it, 2 years ago or like a year and a half ago when they found those new chambers under the pyramids?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
In Egypt, and like they're like, well, we use this new technology and all this stuff, and like there's stuff we don't even know about. Everybody's still learning. History is not something that is just, oh, you read it in history school, whatever, in high school. We're learning to this day, and
yes,
we don't know what really happened,
and we never will. Ever. We can't go back and watch them do it. All we can do is look at the results and try to piece it together as well as we can.
I gotta point out here too that, like, Graham Hancock aside, I'm gonna get into Von Doniken territory. I think this kind of backs up his argument a little bit, because maybe they took their tools and went home. Maybe that's why we can't find what they used to build the stuff, is because it's not here.
You have to bear in mind as well that the age of modern humans is now up to 500,000 years old.
Which is still just the...
Exactly.
There could have been countless global civilizations that existed in that time.
His point is, the last 2,000 years or 5,000 years of contiguous civilization is nothing compared to the extent of the human condition. We've been here for a really long time.
And
at times a drop in the ocean.
Right.
Yeah.
When you look at those particular, and I'm not talking about the archaics, I'm talking about direct lineage ancient humans, there is zero physical difference between them and us other than bone density and size, which seems to be a byproduct of diet.
Could be.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, we need to get off this fucking planet before the cycle resets.
I don't think so. I think we need to get deeper into it.
Well, we can absolutely get deeper into it.
Both.
We need to colonize Mars. We need to make it to Europa.
Mars
we need to
find sentence.
We can make it work.
Life is viable on fucking Europa at all, but all right.
We can make it work. Okay, we figured out a way to. People figured out a way to make Utah profitable. Okay, we can.
Utah won't microwave you just by being there.
That listen. He still has a point. If you can make Utah profitable, you got a chance at some fucking planets in outer space.
All right, then you better send the Mormons, because they're the ones who made that shit happen.
That was my plan.
Listen. I'm not against sending the Mormons. We've already proven you can beat them with superior application of United States cavalry.
Maybe they can go build a base with all those Legos they stole.
Yeah, send the Mormons, make them terraform it. Then we send in a wave of pioneers to make it into an actual civilization. Repeat that process a couple of times until we run into aliens, and then we do what Americans do best: point at a planet, say it's got oil. Next thing we know, it's ours.
Space Mormons, let's fucking go.
I mean, Look, we only got a couple of options at this point. Is space Mormons or space Muslims? Who do you think's really going to look out for other people?
Fuck that. Oh, that reminds me of a really fucking amazing book series I read. Where the premise of the actual book series is like post-apocalyptic, like the interstellar civilization collapsed, and on a random planet they've just gotten back to like mid 1800s technology, pushing early 1900s technology, and one of the characters gets in contact with the super AI that ran the planet's defense system, and the AI is basically using him to like reconquer the planet. I bring this setting up because in that world, interstellar colonization was pioneered by the Muslims as opposed to the Mormons. And it was just a really like interesting like
How very
fact.
unlikely.
Yeah. Well, no, the Muslims were actually like they were pretty damn good explorers. Like they spread pretty damn rapidly as well.
I'm
I'm gonna
exploration,
push
though,
back
so.
on that a little bit. That's conquering. That's not exploration. It's a little
Yeah,
different.
that's a little different. The explorers were the Arabians, were the Persians, who weren't Muslim and kept records and didn't change them to suit their religious ideology.
Also, who built very pretty stuff and liked nice things.
They had very nice things. That's why Alexander the Great took it.
Alexander the Great was taking everything he could. Because Macedonia
he did not conquer Egypt, and it was right fucking there.
Listen, okay, he grabbed whatever he could because Macedonia was in the Balkans, and the Balkans is a shithole.
Yeah, he didn't conquer Sparta either.
He didn't go nowhere near that fucking place.
hold up, guys.
Yeah.
So our party's asking the real questions: space Muslims, space Mormons, or space Catholics? Which would you prefer? Now, for my money, space Mormons, because they always bring refreshments. There's always that fucking bowl of peach cobbler.
We're good.
Okay, hold on. Space Catholics, Warhammer 40k. Space Muslims, Dune. Space Mormons, Spaceballs.
No, not Spaceballs.
That's Jews in space, dummy.
Yeah, that's just those are Druish. That's different.
Fine. Galaxy Quest. Space Mormons, Galaxy Quest.
No. There's all. God damn it! There's already one. What the fuck is the name of it? It's got Ender's Game.
Ender's Game is not Mormonism.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's written by a Mormon.
Bruh. You're fucking with the wrong one when it comes to the written word, my brother.
I don't care. No. Ender's not Mormon. Fuck you.
No, but his author is.
That's not in dispute. I don't care about that part.
And I do believe that it does come up in
Funny.
the book.
She doesn't look Jewish.
His parents, one of them is Mormon and one of them is Catholic.
Yeah, the dad's Polish. Right. The dad's a Polish Catholic. I can't remember what the fucking mom was.
Which means she's a Mormon.
Mormon.
Unlike Judaism, Mormonism is not something that's tied to your fucking birth.
It's part.
I said somebody who wasn't fucking raised in it. All right.
Oh my god, dude. Sam, sick him.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, no, you aren't officially a member unless you've been baptized and gone through the lessons and all that shit. You're correct about that. However, being raised in it, yeah, you more or less are. Being raised around it, yes, you more or less are. They don't do this whole, it's not matrilineal like Judaism is, but it is expected. Now, to be fair, Ender's parents specifically came from those backgrounds. They didn't necessarily publicly espouse his beliefs because they lived in a society where being religious was generally frowned upon.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah. Also, Ender was government property. He wasn't any religion.
Both religions believe in no prophylactics and making as many babies as possible. And in a world where you are limited to 2 children without special dispensation, which Ender was, he was the third. Keep in mind, I mean, if you recall, that's why he was being bullied in the fucking first place.
I read those books like 4 or 5 times when I was in middle school. You don't need to remind me, dog.
I'm just saying. There is Mormon background and ideology in that series.
When you're using words so terribly inappropriately, sir, someone needs to remind you.
Should we look at Chiclet Teeth?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Wait, is this the no? You know what? No, fuck that. No, I'm gonna go get a fucking drink. I'll be right back. And I meant like
pain
water.
and
I didn't mean
patience. This is
fucking alcohol.
groundbreaking because for the
You notice how he muted himself right after he said, "I'll be right back," and then he was immediately back the second you started playing this to talk over it. Oh, look, there he is again. See, he's
To
still
clarify, I'm
I
not
don't
getting
need your
alcohol. I'm getting
qualification.
water.
Shut the
Fuck
fuck
you.
up. Nobody cares.
Fuck you.
You joking after this right now?
Anyway,
sake.
Gabriel Torch, everybody.
researchers have found an objective way to measure pain and patience. This is groundbreaking because for the longest time you've had that little scale from 1 to 10 and you hope for the best and many people are not taking seriously. At the same time, this research could very easily be applied to giving robots pain because that is something that is necessary, I think. We'll talk about it. Pain is considered to be subjective. 1 for one person may not be the same as 10 for another. At the same time, it's incredibly difficult to get treatment. I am someone who experiences chronic pain, only in part because L4 is wrecked. I am somebody who has a difficult time telling if something is broken or sprained. Part of that is because I've been in contact sports for much of my life.
It's probably the heroin too. That probably has something to do with it. I don't know. I'm just guessing from years of fucking experience, madam.
I don't know that I would go a heroin route with her. I think she's more of a morphine girl.
Oh, sure, take your pick. They're all
maybe
the
mescaline a little bit.
I'm just saying, as long as you're talking opioids, I'm on the same fucking boat as you, bro. Hell, she probably smokes the fucking pipe.
Yeah, I'm just look.
Yeah,
and I don't generally like to pick on her or whatever. Like, I don't agree with half of the shit she says in terms of like her personal opinions on things. But again, the reason we bring her up is because she brings us fun little details like measuring the speed of pain.
Yeah, she's good at what she does.
Last time I had a shoulder x-ray because I dislocated it. First off, I didn't really know it was dislocated. There were also quite a few healed rib fractures that I just didn't know happened. The doctor was concerned about.
That implies childhood abuse.
Kind of.
More than any kind of like super high pain tolerance. And
I had a bunch of those
as an infant.
I had a bunch of those kinds of fractures too, but I remember very well receiving them because I was an adult.
Right. I don't want to talk about your wife.
Well,
the possibility of osteoporosis.
Never mind. I was going to say something else, but yeah, never mind. Let's just move on.
Right.
No, that was not the case. I just can't tell. This phenomenon is often seen in chronic pain patients. Because you're in pain so much, so often, you just kind of get used to it. So if you have something new, you might not notice it. However, there may be a way to determine if somebody is experiencing pain, and it has to do with your brain and AI. Yep, AI can be used to decode the patterns of pain in your brain. Whether or not you're aware you are experiencing it and whether or not you can vocalize it, those neural pathways are still going to fire. This is something that AI excels at, finding patterns in noisy data. For all of the things that AI probably should not be used for, this is a fantastic use. The researchers proposed using this for the elderly and perhaps for very young children, but it could also be used for any individual. Imagine going to your doctor, putting on an EEG cap, and they believe you that things hurt.
Bullshit.
Now, one of the other options for studying pain.
No. That's not the way that works. What they'll do is they'll put on the EEG cap and then explain to you that they can now show it to you that it's actually all in your head. Yep.
Well, it is all in your head, though, right?
It is. They're not wrong, but they're not right either. Look, I have nerve damage in my left arm, and part of the rehab when I broke my back and my pelvis and dislocated my shoulder and a whole bunch of other shit. The nerve damage in my left arm is congenital. I was born with it. It has to do with a bone spur that grew in the wrong spot, and they had to remove it. But when I went to the rehab and they were doing all the needles with the electrical signals through everything, right side, no problem. Right leg, no problem. Left leg, no problem. Left arm comes up, and the place where that bone spur used to be would light up like it was on fire every time he touched anything. And I started freaking out, man. That shit was hurting. And I nutted up a little bit on him. I wasn't allowed to go see that man again. He refused me because he hurt me and then told me I was lying, and I almost drug his ass. My wife had to drag me out of that fucking doctor's office physically because I was mad.
Yeah.
But if I hit you with a shot rod in your elbow 3 or 4 times, laugh at you and tell you you're lying, that
Yeah,
don't
but
hurt.
that's what she's talking about. I think though what she's saying is if you go through enough actual physical debilitating stuff, but you stop experiencing things, you get desensitized.
Sure. My point is bedside manner.
That's what happens with the brain. The brain won't go into a defense mechanism.
Oh, I see the problem. No, wait, you're on one of those like single pay healthcare plans. Over here, we have these things called insurance. That's not how it's going to work here, babe. Let me tell you how it's going to go down. They're going to use the evidence that they have to prove that they don't need to write you any more checks.
Yeah, that's accurate. Insurance is one of the biggest fucking scams ever.
I'd argue the VA is a bigger scam.
I said one of, first of all. Secondly, nobody asked you. Mister, I'm going to go get a drink. Trust me, it's just water.
No. One of them is water, the other is Starbucks. I got a cold brew.
Oh, so you're just chugging down some jizz then.
No, I'm chugging down bitter blackness and sad darkness.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't call it that.
So it's definitely jizz.
I didn't ask for the name of your 2 black lovers.
You all heard it. You all heard it.
Flip that.
To do is chugging bitter blackness.
Speaking deeply of it. Yep. That's true.
Man.
Too obvious.
I need that. I need to dig out that old meme that Kohai did of you on the couch with all the black guys behind you in their underwear.
I fucking hope that got deleted. I
still have it somewhere. I just don't know what folder it's in.
Well, then I hope you're too lazy to go looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you're
no,
probably right.
It should do. If somebody stuck a thermometer up your butt so many times where you got butt hurt so bad.
That was not me. That was a different guy.
He's been testing to see how many of them he can get up there at once.
No, I
He's
don't.
all the way up to 27.
No, I don't. Because if you need to get a fucking silver bullet, you get locked out of training for at minimum a week. And if there's anything that keeps you longer, then you're just like, sorry, you don't get to train anymore. Fuck you. Which then locks you up and you're basically just stuck in a box for like a year until they take you out and get you ready going again. And I don't want to
in
do
the
that.
meantime, you can switch from thermometers to bananas.
Hamsters and bananas, exactly. But what would your brain do?
Here we go again.
This.
Don't put bananas in my butt. No, don't put bananas in my butt. I've told
See,
you
it's an earworm.
several times before. My butt is not a banana door. And I say, don't put bananas in my butt. Don't put bananas in my butt. Don't.
That is a little too good, bro.
Isn't it? It's horrifying, but it's really funny.
Every fucking time I see a Corman now, every motherfucking time I see a Corman now, that is going to be playing in my head. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's like the big dude that looks like he could be a Marine, if it's the fucking like just nurse looking chick, if it's the fat guy, if it's the cute blonde. It doesn't fucking matter what fucking Corman it is. It's going to be, I'm just going to hear that song playing and I'm going to have to bite down a fucking laugh. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's going to rack in your head so fucking hard that eventually it's going to come out of your mouth mid-run. Don't put bananas in my butt. What's up, Mikey? Welcome in, my brother.
Check this out. So what Underscore is putting here in the chat, this is the problem that Dermy's having and why he's mad at me. This is the thing that keeps occurring in his chat because I tagged him in that video.
I mean, he deserves that. It's Dermy.
I think it's funny as fuck, but yeah, he's a little upset with me. Not so upset that it stops him from deep throating bananas on stream for $100 a pop. So I mean, you want to talk about grifting. Master grifter over there.
Oh, he's an absolute grade A grifter. Only like 2 other people I know on a relative first name basis come to mind.
Yeah.
He's not that hurt. He hasn't messaged me or asked for my defense. he's not
Yeah.
that.
No, he's just berating me on stream and telling me "fuck you" privately. So it is what it is. Oh man, I don't know. I don't even want to finish that whole fucking Gabriel Torch thing now because all I can think about is that little hamster in this little song.
I bet she's somebody's sleep paralysis demon.
Don't put bananas in my butt. No, don't put bananas in my butt.
I told you 1,000 times before. I can't get it out of my head, man. It's amazing.
Right, so I got something to follow it up with.
This is better than Baby Shark.
No, old blindy bad. Old blindy
So,
bad.
If you didn't know, the Eye of Sauron is watching.
Nice.
Yeah, so this may be the one thing that I wouldn't have done with the sphere, but all right.
Right? I mean, by saying the word Palantir and then doing this,
like it's
kind
a
of
fucking
brings,
Palantir.
Right? This is kind of a full circle kind of thing. It's a self-definition and a
Hold on. Can someone explain to me why there's an American company named Palantir that is telegraphing the evil shit it's doing, and then there's an American company named Anduril that's telegraphing the awesome things it's doing? Why the fuck is this the timeline we live in?
Why are you using the word telegraphing? What are you, in the 1920s?
Probably.
Who are you telegraphing?
Wait, do you not know what like a telegraph is? Like in regards to like a fight, like a telegraph,
Jesus.
like when you're telegraphing.
She knows
something.
what a telegraph is, and she's also aware that it has more than one connotation. She's specifically honing down on the one definition to pick on you. As we all do sometimes.
I'm not used to Anna being mean to me. That's probably why I was confused.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's because you're more of a woman now than you were before.
Oh, go bite me. Go fucking bite me.
And they're running through the woods with a thermometer. And also, you know what?
A banana in your butt.
Want me to defend you? Pay me a retainer.
I didn't say I needed you to defend me. I just said normally you're nicer.
It's more fun if she's mean to you when she's dressed in leather.
It looks
What
me
the
straight in
fuck?
the eye when she talks down to me. That's what I prefer.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's when she's nice to you got to worry about, because usually she's standing behind you while you're digging a hole in the woods for yourself.
You mean what I'm going to be fucking doing for the next like 3 days after Monday?
No. This is just a one afternoon kind of thing, and you're not coming back.
She's using
probably-
a PP7, dog.
See, even Alpha's got it. Don't stick bananas in your butt. Like, right? It's everywhere now. It's haunting me.
I mean, even Mike's in on it.
Oh man, it's good. It's good fun, man. Oh yeah, so he is.
My
The
hole
music's
is not a banana door.
But yeah, this is horrifying.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Doo-doo-doo.
Now, what's more disturbing is if they could figure out the angle to make it stare at the bridge over there while a car is going by and just focus on one car at a time.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
That shit would freak me the fuck out, bro. If I come
Hold
over
on.
the hill and suddenly that thing's staring at me and it's tracking me, I'm like, fuck that.
Can we get a company named Isengard to start manufacturing body armor and weaponry? I think that'd be fucking tight.
I think the only
Like
way
the end
that
of
works.
Sauron on it.
Right. I think the only way that works though is if you get Orlando Bloom to wear a blonde wig and be the front man for the company. Their spokesperson, if you will.
No, just dress up a bunch of dudes in blackface and make them do
Do you not remember they're taking the hobbits to Isengard?
Yeah, I know. You could do the same effect with a bunch of Uruk-hai.
But it's
You kind of need
better.
the Uruk-hai to abduct the midgets.
No, dummy. It's a okay. I don't think he remembers the meme, guys. I don't think he
Oh my
remembers the meme.
god. It's got to be the marine jism coming out of his mouth. There's so much of it's been pumped into him at this point that he just can't take on any additional ideas or thoughts.
Yeah, but this is like a 20-year-old internet meme.
I know,
Yep.
which might be the problem as well.
But even I didn't know about it, and I wasn't even on the internet when that thing happened.
The meme is probably older than he is.
The meme is older than YouTube is.
2 of the 8 Harry Potter movies are older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Damn.
I'm younger than the Halo franchise.
You're also
Jesus, you
younger than
really are a kid.
Fellowship of the Ring, if I recall.
I think also 2 Towers.
Yeah.
So you never went to the cinema
Yes.
when the
Yes.
first Lord of the. Yes, what? God?
The 2 Towers came out in 2002. I'm a 2003 baby.
This fucking kid.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me check Attack of the Clones.
They're giving him weapons.
Attack of the Clones. The second movie in the prequels is older than me.
Ugh.
That means Hayden Christensen could be your daddy.
No, because he's not as conceited as my dad. How do I know? Because I am my dad. I'm as conceited as my dad is.
You know, that was a complete non sequitur, right?
You're a non sequitur.
Like, just as long as we're aware of what happened here. What happened is like normally what we'll do is we'll talk about a thing and then there will be tangents along the line of the thing, but eventually they'll all sort of kind of connect to where we were going or, you know, whatever. But what Shadu just did there was jump onto another track altogether on the other side of the fucking country.
Yes, you're welcome.
Coconut.
I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was funny.
But Coconut by Parry Grip.
Oh man, this is.
I'm not sure about this at all, bro. But okay, there it is. Your call, bro.
I don't know what this is. This might be a bad idea.
Oh God, no, I don't like this. Let's not do this.
I think he just made a decision.
I tell you what we'll do. Let's do this. We'll not do both video and audio, but we'll do a little bit of the audio and see.
Up butt, coconut. Up butt, coconut. Up butt, coconut. Up your butt with a coconut. Up butt, coconut. Up butt, coconut.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of slaps a little bit.
It's a banger.
Are we gonna put fucking? No, I'm not even gonna bring up that one. I'm not even gonna bring up that fucking song.
Which song?
The one,
Chocolate rain.
the one that's about Mr. Hands in a way.
Oh God.
I can link it in the chat if you're curious, Anna, but I don't think you're that curious.
No.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. I had to check something. Sudden loud noises from the hall reminded me of a neighbor that I thought had moved out or died. Anyway, I was kind of hoping it was the
Turns
second
out they're
one.
alive and shooting at each other.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it was the second one, but whatever. Anyway, wasn't them.
Oh, is this the cunt who's just loud all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, screaming into the butt. I mean, it is a void of a kind, right?
Yeah.
That's never how I thought of it.
Well, no, the word void is utilized as a verb in that case.
You know, I like a void is an empty space or a cavity, right? So, yeah, technically,
But to
colon
void
counts.
is to empty a space, leaving a cavity.
I wonder how many thermometers you could get up there.
Hey, Anna, you're still in contact with a wide array of people on the internet. Do you know any other shows that run in conflict with this one so I don't have to be here?
Yeah, Dermies. Dermies does right now.
I'm staying here. I'm staying
There's
here.
also
Never mind.
the
I'm,
entire
I'm
Marine
happy.
Corps.
I'm
You
perfectly
could just
fucking
fuck
happy.
off.
I am perfectly fucking happy to be here. I don't want to go to Dermies.
There's a few others, but that was the first one that came to mind, man.
Yeah, fuck no.
So I don't know. Maybe if you're real nice to Larry, he'll put in a word with you with Iron Oxide, who also runs a show about now. But you're still going to run into some weird shit over there because Vagabond's on that show.
Yeah. See, it's honestly like the hard part. Like, even if I had the time to do other shows, like y'all are pretty much the only people in this kind of sphere that I still maintain any sort of contact with. So it'd be kind of weird. It'd be really kind of weird.
That's how a little you do.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly because y'all aren't batshit crazy, honestly. Like, that's the big thing. Like,
What, are you
Nah,
serious?
no,
Yeah, what?
the people I'm talking about, like, actually start raving mad. Like, I've still got some buddies in the fucking Warhammer community, and my buddy Ice and the shit he's doing. But then, like, from like it's been like 5 years since I started hanging out with y'all and doing this fucking streaming shit. And I knew a lot more people back then, and now I just kind of know who's in Sam's chat for these shows, and that's about it. From those days.
Yeah.
Partly because a lot of it.
Welcome to adult life.
Yeah. Well, good riddance to most of them, because they're stark raving mad, vaguely mad, stalker mad, or just like not well adjusted and shouldn't really be engaging with people on the internet crazy. Y'all know at least one each of who I'm referring to, chat included.
Yeah.
One each.
Probably.
I you know what? The internet draws some crazy people. It really does. Rarely does it draw the sane, and
Ooh.
if they are sane, they don't stay sane.
No, it just brings
can,
out the.
Can we dip into AI psychosis for the next like 10 minutes?
Sure.
Who's
why
had
not?
an experience with this?
Are you talking about when they hallucinate and they just start making up weird shit?
When people talking to AI start taking AI's advice too seriously and then destroy their lives because they believe the AI more than they believe their own lying eyes.
Yeah, like a her situation. But not, I don't know. You were maybe, what was it, version 4 point whatever of Chat GPT that was talking kids into suicide or whatever? That kind of thing?
That kind of thing. But it's gone farther now. There's hold on, I got some stuff. So there's this one dude who like jammed up the CIA's contact access because he kept leaving voicemails about things his AI was telling him. And he was trying to explain that he had figured out an error in basic mathematics and was trying to explain it by basically sharing conversation drifts of the AI conversation. Another guy killed his wife because the AI determined that the wife was cheating on him, and it turned out she was planning like a surprise party for him. There's a bunch of like examples, but they're all so really way the fuck far out there that it's really hard to like believe it, you know?
I kind of get that. I think you're going to run into that. There are already fringe types before AI was feeding into it, before hell, even the internet was feeding into it. You're always going to have those fringe types. The way we're all connected now, and now connected to machine mind of all things. I think you're going to see an increase in that because it's no longer on the fringes, because everybody's part of the same hodgepodge now. And once upon a time, these people were literally on the fringes of society. They didn't really get involved with, the rest of us. But now,
or they were never allowed to cultivate the kind of information that would lead to them being crazy, because like most people conform to their situation around them with certain exceptions. That's why if you take someone from group A, they're identifiably from Group A, and if you take someone from Group B, they're identifiably from Group B. But because you have this mass communication now, even if you're geographically with Group A, if you don't connect with Group A for whatever reason, you can communicate with someone from Group B, and you would tend to have more in comparison with person from Group B. And then you just do that to the point where you have an atomized
Why are you talking about your
populace.
spreadsheet?
Because that's how he thinks. It's gay as fuck, but there it is.
I'm sorry, that's so like, I don't get that.
Okay, here's a weird thing.
B group, C
Man,
group.
Tati.
Oh,
The
no,
two videos that I plucked earlier today are gone out of my playlist.
Really?
But I think the whole thing with what Squatch is saying, what you're saying, Sam, with AI, again, we're going back to the staples of the show, scraping into the coconut butt. But this is a dangerous thing because people that I know from an older generation cannot differentiate even between an AI video or a real video. I'm being asked like by people who are in there, so is this real? And I'm like, no, this is AI. This is not real.
Yeah. And see, what's crazy about that is I've been hearing apparently Gen Z are so good at determining like if something's AI or something's not, that ad campaigns that were using AI saw massive dips in the product they were trying to sell tied to around the time they started using the AI. And then the moment they switched off, they saw an immediate return to form. So it's really weird that you make the point that older people can't see this shit, but it looks like younger people can.
No, it's a fair point though. Is like, I mean, I can catch it about 2/3 of the time, but there's plenty of times when it fools the shit out of me. I don't always spot it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
and I'm not what you'd call old. I'm just sort of getting there.
Yeah, and I honestly wonder if it's because I now this is an anecdotal example, but I saw something on Twitter where someone was saying they were like a school teacher. They took their kids on like a trip to see like some important boat or ship. I don't think it was the USS Constitution, but like something kind of in that vein, like a really, really old boat. And they took them there, and the kids were saying like, this doesn't look real. Like, there's no way this is real. There's something wrong with the water, or there's something wrong with the boat. But like, they're seeing it in the real world. So I'm wondering if it's a case of they like, because they view the world as just so fake, whenever they see something, they err on the belief that, oh, it's fake. It's clearly, and you can go, well, it's AI. That's why it's fake, versus people who did not live in a world where everything has to be fake because like it's obviously fake. They can get tricked because they're not predisposed to believing they're being tricked.
I agree with you, but I think what Squatch was making the point about, like, that people choose to go and believe the fakeness because it's more convenient because of certain things that happened back in the day with the coof, where people were could not go out, could not see family, could not go and do it. So people started to, the mentality started changing. We all became more involved in, you know, the internet and internet culture. That's where the streaming went up and down, and people started now the more with AI that we're having, and it's progressing really fast.
Yeah.
From back when it was like even 2 years ago, it's going up there. You can change a person's face, everything, and if you have a computer talking to you and you don't even need to see a real person, and that computer is telling, I mean, I even had the whole, you guys saw it, I had a conversation with Grok on X. And it was like telling me, I kept saying to it, I'm not a man. How the hell am I a man? My photo is not of a man. I am not Asian. I'm not black. How am I always a man? And it was like arguing with me. I'm sorry. That was the weirdest thing I ever had I was talking to you, an artificial intelligence talking back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird. I don't like that.
I would like to say the same, but I will occasionally pick fights with artificial intelligence because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like just on my own time, I just be like, "Yo, Grok, why are you retarded? Justify your existence."
Yeah. Watch him trip balls in real time.
it is what it is, and I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't be involved with the thing at all because I actually kind of despise what it's doing to us. There's evidence that it is changing the way our brains work in a permanent and not so reversible and not so good ways.
Yeah.
And yet I keep going back to it because the juvenile part of me wants to keep poking that fucking artificial bear.
No, it's the same reason why it's so hard to kick. Like, insert insert anything that like can rewrite your brain, like fucking drugs, alcohol, pornography,
Silver bullet.
bullying, like anything that rewires the way your brain works.
Jesus, list all my favorite things, why don't you?
I guess, yes, Abe, you're a disgusting individual. That's why I listed all those things. You're welcome. But yeah, no, like the human brain is just, it's amazing, but it's also fucking weak and disgusting and horrifying at the same time pretty damn often. And that's when you end up in this kind of situation where we've basically laid the foundation for our own forced convalescence.
I like how you use the word convalescence as if that's where it'll end.
Hey, kid, have you ever talked to a communist? That's the plan.
No, because the communist speaks of utopia on Earth, and that's not the plan.
Their idea of utopia is sitting around smoking weed and talking about the proletariat.
I think that's more of a cultural thing with communism being an economic unit. You can have the utopia look very different depending on which population you apply the economic system to.
Did you just Sasquatch? Did you just trick the kid into defending communism?
I'm good, dude. I'm that fucking good.
Respond with a joke. Do you know how to banter?
No, nice humor wins again.
There's a encyclopedia. Oh, I read this book and I read all these chapters, and you guys don't just banter. Jesus Christ.
No.
The kid's autistic as fuck. What do you expect?
I'm taking a W on that one, bro. Let me take my run around the bases by myself.
I mean, okay.
This is probably a good place to call it.
Yeah, people are starting to get angry again. It's time to end it.
No. Well, there's that. There's the. I don't think you're going to be able to top tricking the kid into fucking doing what he did.
I'll get him to defend feminism next.
And also, it sounded like Abe. It sounds like your voice is about to go out. So we should.
It's starting to go big
I've
again.
been talking about guns in America for a long time with me, so. That's why.
No, I have guns in America. If that helps.
Yeah. Squatch, by the by, I just defended feminism in chat. You're welcome.
Bingo.
Why would you even lean into this bullshit, dumbass?
He picks the wrong moments.
Because it's funny.
Anywho. We're gonna get on out of here.
I mean, to us,
2 hours. This wasn't bad though for like not really having a plan, and I wasn't totally awake when we started. So
that's how we roll.
Yeah, it turned out pretty well. I think we did pretty well today.
Damn, I'm good.
All things considered. So let's roll on out of here with the outros. Shadoo, do your thing.
Yep. Howdy, everyone. I'm the Shadow of the Hawk, and tonight I will be shilling a great set of books written by one Alfred Reed. A while back, he's a buddy of mine. Met him on Twitter, and because of that, I started reading his books. Dude is freaking phenomenal. decided to write something called the Ironside trilogy. It follows the story of Edmund Ironside as he helps defend England from a bunch of Viking invaders who were coming in because the king was like, "Hey, I'm a weak bitch. Come to my country and stimulate the economy or something." With Edmund and other characters in the story rising up to save England from an invading force invited in by a weak government. Many of the characters and many of the actions are fictional for the purposes of telling a dramatized story, but the overall historical arcs and events are as rooted in history as he's able to make it happen. You can buy them on Amazon, I believe, also Barnes and Nobles, but that I'm not 100% on because I've been buying them from Amazon. It's got 3 books. England's Martyr is the first one. I highly recommend it. They are dense, but they don't feel dense. They're fucking phenomenal reads, and they teach you a good bit of history from a period of time no one really likes talking about.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say that was the whole spiel. I'm not sure because, the kid does like to dissertate. That said, thanks for being here, Kit, as always. Shadow of Hawk, everybody. He does have a YouTube channel. There isn't anything new on it, but he does have some old stuff. Maybe go watch that. Anna, what do you have coming up?
I'm gonna be in a couple of hours on with Dadman Walking. It's gonna be his birthday on Monday, but he's doing his Saturday night chinwag kind of stream with Mrs. and everybody joining in to just congratulate him. So if you do have the chance, just stop by and say hello. And then beyond that, more music coming, and that's pretty much it. And I still need to play James Bond.
All right, fair enough.
And always on the full Aussie. Oh my god. If you guys have never checked out the full Aussie, you need to go on there and support the Australians because they know what biscuits are.
That was a slam against Americans there. I've been on the full Aussie. It's a lot of fun though. I can definitely go check them out.
Cookies.
So, thanks for being here, Anna, as always.
Thank you.
Abe, before your voice gives out, do the thing.
I'll be doing everything everywhere. Abe's gonna get you.
Succinct. I like it. Moving on. Also, glad to have you back, buddy.
Cheers.
Sasquatch.
I'm going to be a bit more brief than Shadu. I shall begin with I was born.
In a crossfire hurricane by any chance?
Tomorrow is the blast radius at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday there is no naughty corner, but I may be doing some supernatural show. The show Supernatural. I got somebody that wants to do some deep dive into some concepts out of it. So we're looking at replacing Naughty Corner for the next couple of weeks with that. We haven't come up with a name, but it'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, I'm trying to put together a body cam footage thing with a specific bent that I'm not quite sure about yet. With Marathon Kev, you can find him on YouTube. That will be Wednesday, not sure what time yet. Thursday, I'm interviewing Tootie Bug. You'll find her in chat occasionally for Sasquatch Shills. And then Saturday, I'll be back over here. And as always, I'm usually backstage on the Powdered Dusty, even if you don't see me, if anyone's interested.
All right, fair enough. And as always, Sasquatch helps make the show happen here. And I don't know, I was going to say something nice, but I feel like that's too much jiggling of his nuts. So we're going to move on to me. I will be helping out later tonight on Exiled Lioness 2 as my good friend Amira will be going live tonight. It looks like sometime around 9:15-ish Pacific, which is going to be kind of late for the rest of the country. But it is what it is. So I'll be over there tonight. After that, I will most likely be booting up and streaming a little bit of Demon's Souls because I am having a good time playing that. And we are off the Crimson Desert heroin. I'm done with it. We're done with that. I finished it. We're good. So we moved on to other things.
Sure, you can quit anytime you like.
I did quit. I started playing something else.
You're gonna go back in a week.
Shut the fuck up, kid. Nobody asked you. Anyway.
No, how can you? That's like quitting like Fallout. You went through the main story. You put all the blocks together. You did all the Graham Hancock stuff. And the Assassin's Creed thing.
250 hours. Yeah, I did most of it.
But
it's like me trying to quit Conan.
You didn't have to go around collecting the cats.
Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't touch a single cat except that first one you have to at the beginning of the game.
The one that was on the roof?
Yep. It's the only one. The rest of them I fucking ignored. Especially because I found out real quick that you can't shoot them with your arrows.
Damn it, Sam.
So, and you can't. I was gonna skin him and turn him into stew like you can everything else in the game, but yeah, for some reason cats are immune to that shit. Anyway, off Crimson Desert. Now we're on the Demon Souls, and also I would like to mention that I will be on Adam the Renaissance Nerd's channel for Roundtable tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be discussing pop culture stuff. The reason I got asked on is because of the Stargate debacle, which I've already bitched about ad nauseum last night, and we'll continue to do so tomorrow. So we will see y'all where we see you. Thanks for coming. We'll be back next week with more Screaming into the Void and another episode of Abyssal Musings next Friday. And yeah, that's it. That's all we got. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. What was that? Was that somebody on helium? It sounded like Shadu on helium.
Didn't speak. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dog.
Are you fucking the sauce?
Stop saying dog.
Fine. I am literally just sitting here doing fuck all, sir.
He's saying dog to that.
He's sitting on a thermometer.
I'm going to have to incorporate, I think, that I don't put bananas in my butt into the outro music. But anyway, have a good night, everybody.
I hate you.
Thanks for coming.
I hate you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
Part of the intro.
Yeah, bye.